Welcome friends. Now we are entering into the fourth session on this course of Toyota Production System. We discussed about what is a system, what is a production system and what are the different types of systems which are available. Based on all that input, it is also important to understand that why we need to discuss a system of manufacturing developed by a company like Toyota. So, for understanding the requirement of that, we already discussed in our second session, if you recall, some of the global trends. But here I will like to take you to a different dimension, and the dimension is of competitiveness, that how our functional areas can provide competitiveness. And most of the time it is a general belief that competitiveness comes from the marketing type of areas. I am not against marketing, but I want to point that different functional activities can help you to achieve or to obtain that competitiveness, or it is also known as competitive advantage, competitive edge. Now, here particularly we are talking that operations can also be a very useful weapon. It can also provide you lot of competitive advantage which marketing can leverage. So, you see that in our previous session when we were discussing about systems, we were talking of integrative systems, how to have integration of various components of the system. Now, this is a beautiful example that operation provides some sort of strength and that marketing capitalizes on those strength, and that is how the organization, your company will achieve a excellent level of performance, a superior level of performance, a sustainable advantage. And here in this session particularly we will be focusing on this particular aspect of competitiveness and competitiveness particularly from operations. So, we have named this session as operations strategy, where the strategic role of operation will be discussed. Now, for understanding this topic, let me take you to the fundamental question that what is competitiveness. Now, what is competitiveness? For this purpose, as I was talking in a different session, that how you define happiness. So, the meaning of happiness is different for different person. For me, happiness is in eating rasgulla. For you, happiness is in listening Jagjit Singh's music. For somebody else, happiness is in watching a soccer match. So, for all of us, the meaning of happiness or from where we derive happiness may differ. Same thing for different organization, sources of competitiveness may differ. There cannot be a common source of competitiveness for all the organizations. Different organizations draw their competitiveness from different point of view. Now, what is this competitiveness? Now, this competitiveness is our ability to perform in comparison to our competitors. If my competitor is providing product A, let us say with the help of an example, let us try to understand that these are two competitors X and Y. They both are serving to same market. This is market A. Now, X is also serving a product to market A, Y is also serving the same product to market A. Now, why a customer A chooses a product of Y over X? Why a customer chooses product from Y over X? That is the answer of competitiveness. That customer in market A is choosing the product of Y or choosing the product of X over others, that is defining the competitiveness for you, because either Y, let us be more clear, either Y is offering a product at a lower cost than the price of the product of X. So, because Y's products are available at a lower price, customer like me will go to Y's product. So, the Y's ability to provide product at a lower cost is his competitiveness. Maybe Y is providing superior quality products than the products of X, because I am interested in a superior quality product, therefore, I am purchasing products from Y. So, providing the ability to provide products of better quality, that is the competitiveness of Y. So, for some reason market A is purchasing products from Y over X, therefore, that becomes the competitiveness. Now, continuously organizations are trying to develop more and more competitiveness, more and more those abilities, because of which they are able to fulfill the customer's requirement in a more different manner than their competitors. And when you have a basket of those abilities, it will be difficult to compete with you. Second thing, when you have more such abilities, it will be very difficult for your competitors to imitate those things. If you have one or two ability, your competitors may imitate, or your competitors may provide better abilities. So, you will lose your market. So, all the organizations, however successful you may be, you are continuously looking to gather, to collect more and more such abilities which are going to help you in develop your basket, your portfolio of competitive abilities, and that is the crux of the idea of any strategical advantage. You will have the advantage only because of your superior ability to fulfill your customer's requirement. Then the next point, that different functional activities influence your competitiveness. So, as I was saying that most of the time we believe that marketing influences the competitiveness maximum. So, with this idea, if I see that marketing influences competitiveness, if I go with this idea, so in how many different ways marketing influences the competitiveness? So, marketing influences the competitiveness by primarily these three ways. These are: first, the responsibility of marketing is to identify consumer wants and demands. That is the first important thing. What my customer wants, identifying that thing, and that is the most important role of marketing. Now, if my marketing team is able to understand that how the customer requirements are changing over a period of time, that is my superior ability to understand my customer. Sometime a very good organization may be there, but that organization may not be able to understand that because of some reason customer requirements are changing and I am unable to capture those changing requirements. Therefore, I may lose my market to my competitors. So, this may happen. So, marketing provides the most important ability to understand your customer, because everything revolves around the customer. So, the first important superior capability of marketing is understanding the customer, and you have to continuously track what is happening with your customer. The second important thing with which, because coming back to this first point, few more things to add. Once you understand your customer, what are the wants, needs of the customer, accordingly you will design the product. So, your product development is totally dependent on this consumer wants and needs. If I take you to an example of rural marketing in India, many companies miserably fail in rural marketing. The basic reason for failing into the rural markets is this reason. Companies are not able to identify correctly the needs, the wants, the demand of the rural customer, and therefore they are not able to develop the correct products which rural population require, and therefore those products are failing continuously. So, the first important ability of a company is with respect to marketing's influence to understand the customer. Second is, once you understand the customer, how much to price, that is also a very interesting thing. We all have a very recent example of Reliance Jio, that Jio was aware that in India customers have a very typical love for low cost products, and therefore they introduced a mobile service facility with a very low cost model, and for initial some periods it was almost zero cost. So, because of that they were having that ability to provide products at a very low cost. They were ahead of all their competitors, and they changed the entire landscape of Indian mobile market. So, that is another important thing, that by price you can influence the competitiveness. If you know that how to win a price war, you are certainly going to be a very important competitor, and you possess a very important competitiveness which is required for winning the markets. And third, since the era in which we are living, it is full of social media, it is full of large number of channels which are continuously affecting our thought process, whether it is electronic channels, whether it is print media, whether it is social media. So, you are getting lot of information, we are living in information age. So, therefore, your superior ability to advertise, to promote your product, that also provides you lot of competitiveness. So, those products where you have little less demand, but because of superior promotional activities, because of heavy advertisements, you are able to influence the competition. So, that is another important part which marketing influences. So, these are the three important ways in which marketing can influence the competition. But if you come to operations role in influencing the competitiveness, you will see that there are large number of factors. In marketing we just discussed three. One is your ability to understand the customer's wants and needs, your ability to provide the competitive price, and then your ability to provide very intense advertisements and promotional activities. But if you see the operations role, that how operation can influence the competitiveness, you have product and service design. That is the first important thing through which you can influence the competition. If you are able to come, though there is a role of marketing into it, because if marketing gives you correct feedback, what is the requirement of the customer, then only a good product design, a good service design may emerge. So, it is not stand alone operations role, but certainly once those requirements of marketing are available, then converting those requirements into a product, into a service is the responsibility of the operation profile, and developing a superior product which is exactly as per the requirement of the customer. Both things are important, equally important. Capturing the requirement of the customer is very important, and then converting those requirements into the form of a product, that is also equally important. So, that is the first source of competitiveness which operations profile provide, that developing a product which is as per exactly the requirement of the customers markets. That is one. The second is cost. What is your ability to reduce the cost? No one wants to spend more money, no one wants, however rich you may be, but you always like to give less amount of money for the services, for the products you are using. So, we all want to spend less. Nobody will like to, if this pen can be available to me in 5 rupees, I will not like to give 6 rupees or 5 rupees 50 paisa for this pen. Rather, I will be more happy if somebody gives me this pen in 4 rupee 90 paisa. So, cost is a very important factor, and we continuously look for reducing the cost. So, cost reduction is an important aspect, and who can reduce the cost? It is only operations profile which can help us in reducing the cost. Whether you follow Toyota production system, whether you follow lean manufacturing, whether you eliminate the waste, whether you minimize the defect, whether you minimize the variations, you do JIT, you have very good material management system, you have excellent inventory management system, all that is required for lowering the cost of your processing, and this all put together will help us to reduce the cost of my final output. So, that is again a very important aspect which operation profile provides us. Third is location. Where to locate my facilities? Obviously, if I am talking of location of ambulances, if I am talking location of ATMs, so I will like to locate ambulance on the hot spots which are more accident prone areas. I will like to locate my ambulances in those areas. I will like to locate ATMs on the basis of convenience. So, identification of locations for different types of facilities, whether it is manufacturing facility, whether it is warehousing facility, whether it is retail facility. So, different aspects provide us the option of location, and the best possible combination of various factors which can provide you locational advantage, that is again a superior competitiveness. If I am living in a society, so obviously I will like to open a bank account, I will like to keep a locker in a bank which is most convenient to me, and that most convenience is normally with respect to location where I am. So, if I am opening a new bank branch which may be much cheaper because of land etc., but if it is in the outskirts of the city and there is no colony, no commercial activity, no residential activities in that area, so I will not be getting any business. So, I will like to open a branch where maximum residential activities are there, maximum commercial activities are there, maximum industrial activities are there. So, all these things are the part of location, and therefore, this becomes again a kind of advantage. The old banks in all the cities of India, you see, are available in the central area of the city. You can say that the main markets of the city, because of and that is giving them continuously a sustained advantage, because all the shopkeepers, all the people living in that area, they normally open their accounts in those branches. So, location is a very important aspect of competitiveness, and that comes from the operations profile. Quality does not require any kind of discussion. We all understand that how quality is important, and it is now no longer dependent on inspection. We need to develop our processes, we need to strengthen our processes in such a way that they produce high quality, they produce minimum variation, they produce minimum defect. We understand what is cost of quality, and the customers also want superior quality products at lowest possible cost. So, if customers are looking for superior quality product, this is the responsibility, or this ability to compete comes from the operation profile. So, that is also a very important. No customer can say that okay, I can compromise with little less quality. We all want best quality, and operation is responsible for providing the best quality products. Then we want that company should be able to respond to our requirements within no time. We want quick response, faster response, we want less time of delivery, and therefore you see all e-commerce companies, whether Amazon, Flipkart, or any other company you name, they all are coming up with the models of faster deliveries, that how to have faster delivery to the customer, because that is becoming one key aspect of your advantage. And again, the role of operation cannot be undermined in quick response. How you shorten your processing time? By shortening the processing time, you can reduce your lead time, and this will ultimately help you in building the competitiveness with respect to quick responses. Then another aspect is with respect to flexibility. How quickly you can change your systems so that you can fulfill variety of needs of your customers, that is flexibility. So, now your ability to change your processing systems quickly, that is again coming from the operations domain. That is also in the current environment, it has become one very important competitiveness. Then material management, that is also a very important source of competitiveness. We want minimum inventory, and you can see this aspect in line with the cost discussion we were doing few minutes back, that if I want to reduce the cost of my product, inventory management plays a very important role. So, here I am talking not only the inventory of WIP, that is work in process or raw material, the inventory management of finished goods, which helps me in quick response. If I have readily available inventory, that is going to increase customer satisfaction, and how quickly I am able to provide products, that is dependent on this particular aspect of inventory management. So, inventory management becomes a very tricky issues these days. Therefore, we have separately mentioned it at a competitiveness, because we want to what is tricky, that it is a trade off, and trade off between you want to lower the cost, and at the same time you also want quick response. Therefore, how to manage the inventory is a very challenging issue. If you want to reduce the cost, you want to keep minimum inventory, so that your cost of keeping the material goes down, but at the same time you also want quick response, you want shorter lead times, and if you want shorter lead times, you need to keep inventory. Now, that is a typical issue, and as a operation manager, you need to develop that type of ability, that you should be able to handle the challenges of these two different types of issues. On one side you want less inventory, on another side you want higher inventory. So, how to develop a balance, how to do this trade off, that gives you a different type of competitive advantage. And particularly I like to suggest here that nowadays we have use of IT, and that use of IT is helping us tremendously in achieving this inventory management competitiveness, and a very good example for that is Walmart. The company like Walmart, they are able to achieve superior inventory management by their information technology application, and they are able to provide almost all the products under one roof with the minimum possible cost. So, that gives you a superior ability of inventory management. Then supply chain management, the ability to provide products at different markets, wherever your customers are there, at what time they want product. So, developing that kind of distribution system is the role of supply chain management. And finally, what type of services, the maintenance, the repair, the guarantee, so that your customers are able to use these products with better satisfaction, with better enjoyment, that is also a very important ability. Many a times our purchase decisions are based on the quality of service available for that product in my vicinity. So, therefore, this is also a important ability which is supported by operation domain. So, we saw that marketing is providing 3 competitiveness, but operation can provide you 9 competitiveness. Therefore, this session is devoted on operations strategy. Now, let us see quickly that if we have a particular type of organizational strategy, so how it translates into operations strategy. So, this left column is about the organizational strategy, and this right column is about the operations strategy. Like if the organization strategy is low price, so I will like to do things which can reduce the cost. So, the operation strategy is low cost. So, if my cost is less, I will be able to support the organization strategy of low price. If the organization strategy is of responsiveness, so the responsiveness will be achieved by 2 things, that I need to reduce my processing time, I need to have shorter processing time, I need to do lot of industrial engineering for that purpose, that how to have processes which can reduce my overall processing time, and then how to achieve on time delivery. So, do not delay the delivery. So, these 2 things will be the important organizational operational strategy for achieving the responsiveness. There can be different types of differentiation. Now, if I am seeing the differentiation with respect to high quality, so high quality will be achieved through 2 things. One, I should be able to design the high performance products, and I should also be able to have consistent quality. Organizations suffer that sometime whenever there is a drive for improvement of the quality, the focus goes on quality, but then slowly and slowly the graph decreases. So, I have to be careful that I should be able to produce consistent quality if you want to have this competitiveness. Differentiation on the basis of newness, so innovation becomes your operation strategy. How to have better design thinking culture in your organization, how do you promote innovativeness in your organization. So, it is though operation strategy, but it also involves a very important role of human resource management. Then differentiation with respect to variety, and differentiation with respect to variety is coming from flexibility, that you should be able to produce wide variety of products. So, when wide variety of products are produced, that is only possible because of flexibility, and for that purpose you need to have either general purpose machines, or you need to have other CNC machines which can offer you more flexibility. let us see some more organizational strategies. Then differentiation is possible with respect to variety, and here you also need to see that how you are able to provide lower volumes, because when I am saying the variety related differentiation, I am mentioning flexibility and volume, two things. So, flexibility is our ability to provide more number of products, different variants of product, but at the same time we are also should be capable of providing different levels of volume of those products. So, these two things are very important thing which are coming from the operation side. Then differentiation with respect to services. Now, when I am talking differentiation with respect to services, that means we need to provide superior customer service. How I can provide better customer service, whether I have a distribution network of services across the country. For this purpose, the example of Maruti in India is one of the best example, that they have their service centers almost every corner of this country, and therefore they are able to provide that type of competitiveness about their services. So, that is one important reason of the success of Maruti in India. Then location, differentiation with respect to location. So, the convenience, that customer should be able to approach those facilities without much difficulty. If you see the design of metro stations in any country is done in such a way that customer need not to travel, need not to walk, or need not to hire a separate mode of transportation for reaching those metro stations. So, metro stations are normally planned in the main area of cities, so that it is convenient for customers or for passengers to approach the metro stations. So, that is again a point of operations ability, that your operation people are able to understand, and then they are able to design the map, the network of services in such a way that it is convenient for the customer to use those services. If you see that if just for an example, if we compare metro services versus city bus services, if city bus services are convenient to approach for a customer, and for metro a customer needs to hire either a rickshaw or a cab to first approach the metro station, you can see that the use of metro will reduce drastically, because customer wants convenience, and if it is not convenient, they will not use those services however good it may be. So, that is again a very important ability for any kind of service, any kind of product. So, these are some of the important things which we discussed, that how organizational strategies get translated into the operation strategy, and with this we will see that how our TPS, Toyota Production System, will help us in getting these operations strategy. With the implementation of Toyota Production System, we will see that depending upon our organization's requirement, we will be able to develop that kind of competitiveness. So, with this we come to end of this session. Thank you very much.